I'm Jessica Roberts, and from my childhood, I don't have much experience in the way of graphic novels and comics. I do remember my grandmother clipping comics out of the newspaper and mailing them to her children and grandchildren, but she wouldn't do that often, and so I would just occasionally see comics here and there. Nothing too serious. I also remember reading the comics that would be wrapped around the Bazooka bubblegum wrappers. I don't remember anything about the content within them, but I do remember reading those and looking forward to them as a little treat within a treat, if you will. To me, growing up, comics were for boys, and I've never really been interested in superheroes. Even still today, it's just not my thing. So I've never really read a comic or graphic novel until I was an adult in college taking a literature for youth course. The first one I ever read was Persepolis, and reading it blew my mind. It completely changed my perception on a lot of things, honestly. Up until that point, I'd never really understood that something so profound and poignant could be portrayed in this kind of way. That's when I realized that this is an art form. My appreciation of this art form required a different type of literacy than I was used to reading. I do remember in an AP literature course in high school, we had one lesson on visual literacy, as that's what it is today. What I know and understand it to be today is visual literacy. But up until that point, I never really had any experience with looking at visual images and being able to kind of break it down and comprehend it in a way um, that's a bit closer, kind of like close reading, but with visual art. And so that was my first experience with that, with Persepolis. And since then, I've read a few more graphic novels and even some webtoons that I've found to be attractive that I'm finally starting to understand how to properly critique these works, but I'm still very, very shaky in that aspect. And so for this course, one of the things that I want to do is kind of get more experience in how to properly critique these pieces of art. I also want to gain a better perspective on graphic novels, like as an entire genre, like to know all the different things that this genre has to offer. Um, because so far, all I kind of know are these memoir and kind of almost like romance type of books, but I would like to know the greater world of it. And I think this class, from what I've read of the reading list, is a very comprehensive course, and so I'm excited to get more experience with that. Um, I also want to know more about what aspects of different graphic novels appeal to readers. Obviously, I know that it has to do a lot with content and the drawing style, but there's definitely more to it than that when you look more closely. And that's what I kind of want to understand by the end of this course is what about these different styles and these different books and stories appeal to readers specifically. And as a future school librarian, I want to know what are good graphic novels I can recommend to my students. Even knowing what type of books they like to read, maybe what type of graphic novels they would be interested in to kind of broaden their horizons as mine had once been in college. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.